This is not plugged in. Oh, shoot. Awesome. Let me get that other countdown off of the screen. All right. Hello, this is Vernade Flurnoy. Thank you so much for joining me here today in my studio. We are painting the lovely Mrs. Claus, and I will do a screen share here in a moment. But oh my goodness, did I hit the paint? I sure did. I already have my paint ready to go. I have the lovely Mrs. Claus here. You can go and grab that download right now. Go to thepaintedpose.com. On that main page, it'll right near the top, you can click on getting the download, or you can go directly to my download page, thepaintedpose.com/download. You join my email list, check your email, make sure you check your spam. And inside of the email is a link to go right to my folder where you can see winter designs, spring, fall, summer designs. And so you need to go to the winter designs in order to get your download today. So go ahead, take a moment and go and get your download, get your art supplies. You can color along with your crayons, your colored pencils, watercolor, because you know we do that too. And today we're going to use our craft acrylic paint. So while I get my other camera set up, and guess what? I could invite you on as well. So I've sent myself the invitation, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to turn this music down just a little bit here. I hope you're doing well today. I am so glad to be in here painting. Let me turn it way down. All right. So I have already sent my email to myself, and that's what I would send to you, an email invitation to join me. So let me click on. All right. So this is the email. Join me on StreamYard, and that link right there, you click. Before I click it, I need to put the headphones in. What are you doing? Is it cold where you are? Is it rainy? It's kind of mild where we are right now. And I'm so glad because it did really get cold. All right. So now I've got my earphones in there. Otherwise, it reverberates. So, yep, just want to make sure we're live. So we're live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook on the Painted Pose. Yep, on all of that. All right, so let me go ahead and click on. This is my paint cam, so this is how we get down with that. All right, let me enter the studio, and you'll see that this is what your view, and then I will pop you in from my platform here. So let me make sure we're in here good, and I don't want you to get dizzy yet, so let me make sure we're good. All right, I think we're going in the right direction, and then we'll pop that in here, and then you'll see this is our paint cam. All right, let me twist it and turn it up. Now I'll show you what we were working on last. Do I have the one for last week? Let me go ahead and join, add to stage. Yep, there we go. So yes. Hope you got everything together. It takes a moment, but not too long to go print it out. I should probably do a quick printout for you live. I already have mine, but we can walk through that together. I will show you, and I just did that quickly on, I'm sorry, you can't see what I was doing. Just did that quickly on Instagram. All right, so I've got my water, and this is what I'm trying to do. Oh, good gracious alive, that's my brush. I am trying to get my microphone out of the paint. That's what I just did. So let me go put this wet paint directly into the garbage. Yes. But I saw that as soon as I hit the live. Okay. All right. Now we are going to show you I've got my paints. This is what would come in basic kit, right? The red, yellow, blue, the primary colors, plus black and white and pink. So that's what I have on here, but I also added a little brown. So next time you're out and about, get you some brown. The chestnut is a nice brown. If you're a little darker, let's see. Well, this is very similar with the Craft Smart. This is just their brown. That's from Michael's. This I got at Walmart. And if you are a little lighter, you can get the peachy. This is called Sun-Kissed Peach, right? So if you're a little lighter, you could pick up whatever paint colors that you need. But then you can also mix them. It is so easy to mix. I have some videos for that. I won't do that now. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, like I said, hopefully you have your what am I saying? Your printout. That's what I'm hoping you have already. So sometimes, depending on the size and what I'm working on, I have to have that. So go ahead, thepaintedpose.com/download. Give me your email address. Check your email because I will instantly, automatically send you the download link. And then you should be able to get on in there, print it off, and get busy. All right, so this is nice and light over here, which is good. Let me move this out of the way. I was checking to see if I had that other darker brown that I could show you, but no, it's just, it appears to be a little bit darker. But that just might be the container. Let's see, let me turn this upside down. And it's just a container. It might be just a little bit darker. But if you need to, you add just a little bit of black. And the black pigment is very strong, so you only add just a little bit. All right, so we are at the 310 mark right now, which is cool. Let me do a quick check to make sure I am on the Painted Poses page right fist. And I didn't hear the YouTube go off. Am I live on the Painted Pose? Oh no, that's me. Okay. Yes, I am live on the Painted Pose. I am. Okay, so let me click that off. And the problem with this is I don't know why I can't see any comments. All right. So I will show you how to get your download as well. Let's see here. Let me click that off. Did I hit print? I think I was waiting to go live. Okay. Yes, we will be getting started here in just a moment. I want to share my screen. That's what I'm in here struggling with. There we go. Let me move this out of the way. Put all of these together. That way when I do share it, it's all right here. Okay. Present, and that's what I need to do. Okay. Present. Share screen. All right, there we go. Let me go with the window here. All right, I think we're good now. All right, so yes, we have the right window chosen. And this is Mrs. Claus that we will be painting today. Let me reduce the size of this. Let's see if I can go in present mode on this one. All right, let me escape that because it is taking over my whole screen. And I know I was in present mode before, but you know what? This is going to work out just fine right here. This is going to be good. All right, so that one is ready. So if you were to go to thepaintedpose.com/download, this is what you would see. You put your first name here, your email, send my copy. Then, like I said, you would check your email, check your spam or your junk folder. Then in there, there's a link to get to, let me back up just a little bit, my drive. Let me move this out just a little bit so you can see a little bit better. And then in my drive here, this is my free downloads here. I've got several folders. You would go right to the winter folder, double click on that. You'll see I've got a couple other things in there. This is what we painted. What is that, a couple weeks ago? So I've got a couple little things in there. I will be adding some more, but this is Mrs. Claus right here. Let me double click on that. I would advise you not to print that out unless you want that full size, but this is the page number 2 is what you want. And then here I have a couple other things that, I have on my shop. So I want you to know I do some other things, but this is the download that you will be using to access today. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close that out. And this is what we're going to be using today. All right, so here we are. We're ready to paint. Let me switch this configuration around just a little bit. Let me open this up so I can see all the way, because when it's leaned down from my screen, it's hard for me to see. Now that's what we've been using. Now see, I am trying to configure it where I still want you to see that. But this is as good as I can get it. I wish I could flip that around. Well, let's see now. We might be able to do something. All right. All right. Let's see if I can reduce me. Well, we're trying it. Trying it out live. Well, let's see if this will work. Might. Nope. We tried it. All right, we're going for it. We tried it. It looks like we might be able to update, save as new layout. All right. Then why don't you give it to me? Yeah. All right, it's 3:18, and usually we do start about 15 minutes after the broadcast starts. So hopefully this will work. All right, let me make sure this is close. And we're going to go for it. Let me save it. All right, let's see if that'll work for us. All right, I hope you have your materials. I hope you have your download. And we're ready to rock and roll. Let me close this in a little bit further. And we're good. All right, so you know we are here for all the foolishness. But then at the end of the day, as I say, we know how to throw that paint around, and that's what we're about to do. So let's go ahead and get going. I've already wet my brushes and everything. I have my reference image that I'm looking at here, so I don't have to keep looking back at the computer. And I think I'm going to take it off of this. Well, I'll leave that there. Let me slide you in a little bit, angle you down. And I think we're good. All right. I'm excited to get started. In addition, I've got one of the pouncers. It's an inexpensive little round brush. You could pick that up at Michael's, probably Hobby Lobby, Walmart, and you'll see that'll help us get to the snow. All right, I'm just going to wet this just a little bit with a little bit of water. All right, I'm just going right on in here to the skin color here. Let me see if I can angle you down a little bit more. Let's see if I can get you a little bit closer. Let's make sure this is up so that you can see everything. All right, I think that'll be a little bit better. Okay. I'm going to switch out to my smaller brush here. And some of the paints are more transparent than the others. Now, if this were black, you probably won't be able to see some of the lines through there, but we're just going to go right on over and paint right on these lines right here. Okay. Let's see if I have a little Q-tip right there. I always have one. I always have one. I'm just going to go ahead and dry this up right on out here. It's kind of bleeding out outside those lines that I don't want. It's not bad, but I don't want it. So I just wet my brush and I'm just going in here in some of the little tiny crevices, even though I was able to use the big brush for most of the skin. So we're going to clean that brush out and we're going to come back and we're going to do a second coat. But while this is wet right here, I'm going to go right on in here from a little highlights and kind of come right on up out of there. Now, you might want to put some makeup. You know, you can choose whatever color. And like I said, if your skin tone is different than the skin tone that we have here, it's easy to mix that up. So we're going to let that dry. I'm going to go in here and pull out a little bit of this here. And my brush is just kind of wet. It's almost like I'm mopping up the floor a little bit. I'm just pulling out some of that coloring that we don't necessarily need there. Now I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go right on into the black. I got a lot of water in my brush right there. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm just kind of pressing it out. I'm going to pull some of that black over in here just to make it a little bit more fluid. So I'm just going to go right inside of the lines here. Ooh, I might have a little bit too much water in here. And then sometimes what you have to do, you have to stop and handle it. I'm going to try to stay in control absorbing some of that water out of there. What do you call it? Absorbing. Oh, what do you call it? Just letting the paper towel absorb some of the water out of there. All right, so I'm going right on. Now we'll probably have to go back and do these little lashes and things again. Okay. But usually when you do the eyes, that kind of makes the painting come alive kind of right away. So this is where we are with that. And we're going to continue. Now the hair on the reference photo is a little bit kind of purplish, a little bit funky, and that's fine. While I've got this on here, I'm just going to go right on around here. Okay. I'm just kind of drawing with my brush. And I forget, I've got my computer right here, and it's kind of moving a little bit. So we could save that black outline for later. But for right now, this is okay. I'm going to go back in here with a little bit of brown. All right. All right, so you can barely see that. I'm going to go ahead and clean this one out. Now, you could start in the background first. Usually, I do like to start in the background first. Nope, I didn't clean that out. Let me go ahead and clean that out. And I just put the brush in the water without swishing it. I just want to absorb as much water into the bristles and then just kind of wipe it out on the paper towel. And then eventually I'll go in here and swish and swipe. All right, so I know my brush is pretty much cleaned out. And then we'll get in here and we'll add so much zhuzh. All right, so the white is white here. Try to see if I need to add just a little bit of gray, maybe just a little bit of blue. Around here. That might be a little bit too much. So we'll go back in here with a little bit of white. All right. Same with on the little snowball hat here. Let me look and see. Okay. So I'm going to go here and clean out some of that dark. And we're going with straight white right around up in here. Just to soften that up a little bit. We may have to come back. I'm trying to catch this right here while it is very wet. Even though the canvas is white, you still want to have some of the white paint to go around there, because that just kind of helps seal it up a little bit. in and get a little bit more of that gray. We're lightening it up a little bit. All right, so that's kind of fun. Just to start seeing that happen. Trying to get in these little nooks and crannies right here. And that just adds a little bit of extra dimension. So it's not just flat white. Now we can come back and add some just regular schmegular white here in a moment. Just smoothing this out to make it more fluffy. All right. So I'm happy with that. Let me go ahead. I still want some of this light gray to go around here as well. And I'm going right on in here with some straight white. Now, there's a glare over here, so I can't see what all I'm doing. Going back up in here. A little bit more. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so I'm okay with getting that layer back there. And now this is terrible. I did not email my email list to let them know that I was going to go live, because I didn't know until kind of like the last minute. And just in preparing everything, because I started not to. I just was going to go live on Saturday and just paint. But then it's like, you know what? Let me make sure I have something that people can join me with. And I'll do something else again next week as well. All right, so it looks like we need definitely another layer of... I'm going to go ahead and get started with some of this blue back here in the background. And it's quite bright. Well, it's called bright blue, but it makes such a nice daytime sky when you mix it with white. So I'm just going to come on down over here. Let me get a little bit more on this brush, and I'm just kind of sweeping along on the front. All right. So usually you want to, I go back and forth with the background and the subject. Sometimes I don't know what color I want the background to be until I have the subject completed. But sometimes if you know what you want everything to be, then getting rid of that background early on is very helpful. All right. I've got too much paint in here. So I'm just trying to eliminate that. I just want a little bit on that corner right here, and I'm just going to smooth this out. And I'll see if I want to darken it. Now, if you're at a paint party, I would suggest going right on ahead and painting the sides while the paint is out there, because then you don't have to worry about a frame. I have quite a bit of paint on here just because I know that coming along this canvas right here, I can't really see because of the glare of the lights. I'm going to have to stand up here in just a moment. And we're going to keep this background pretty simple. And you'll see it pull together. Now it's kind of faded to a dark violet up there, so I may add a little bit. But then, like I say, improvise. All right, let me make sure as I come along the let me cut around this circle here. And I'm just kind of pushing that paint right on up in near the circle in those little grooves right here. And I know once I stand up and get a good look, I will see that I have probably missed quite a bit. All right. So I don't want to keep going over that because I know the paint is starting to dry over there and you don't want to lift that up. So I am just going in here. All right, now I have my hair dryer and I will probably use that shortly. Let me make sure this is all right on up in here. And it's okay if the background goes over that area because we haven't invested any time painting it. But when you do, I'm going right up in here with this big brush and I know I need to stop and get the smaller one, but we're being brave and daring. All right, so now we have that first, I forgot about this part. Let me go ahead and quickly paint this part right here. We have that first layer done. All right, I'm just trying to push that paint into all of these grooves here. Now, if you go across the lines or whatever, you can quickly take a little piece of paper towel, fold it up, and wet a little bit of the corner and kind of wipe that up. All right, so we are knocking this one out really, really quickly. Now, like I said, I may wait a little bit, and I'm not. Isn't that terrible? I probably should, but I'm not. I'm going to get a little bit of black going on up over in here with a little bit of this violet. Let me get a little bit of blue coming on up here. Let me get a little bit more of this pink, a little more of this blue. Okay. I'm coming on down here, and I could have just reached for some violet. Let me just, yes, because I can't see it while I'm seated, so I have to stand up here so I can see what's going on. We're going right back along here, carefully dragging that paint along that contour, that edge. All right. Like I said, the good thing about that is if you get a little bit on that hat, it's okay because you haven't painted it yet. Let me get a little bit more blue and mix up in here and fade that back up. Okay. So then now all that's left to do up here is to bring in that snow when it's time. All right. I think we're good. Okay. Let me grab a little bit more blue. Kind of blend that in. And I'll probably need another layer of the blue because a lot of the white is showing through. And that second coat adds that richness. But usually at a paint party, people are just glad to see that first coat and they're usually happy with that. But if there's time, I would do a second coat. All right. Well, I'm glad I'm standing up because I do see some areas that I definitely missed. Okay, so some of this is already dry. Okay, this corner isn't because that looks like one of the last ones. I've got a lot of paint in this brush, so I'm just kind of pressing that out. All right, so we're going to leave this alone. Okay, so let's leave that alone for a moment and let's move on to another part. So it's filling in quite nicely, quite quickly. Let me check the time. Yes, we want to stay close to an hour here. Maybe a little bit less because it's a simple, fast, easy painting. But I just enjoy the process. So if you enjoy the process, it might take you a little bit longer. Let me double this up here. All right. So that brush was really full of that blue. Okay, so let's get that out of there. And I think we're good. And honey, this brush has seen better days, but it's still a good workhorse. So even though they're used and a little bit worn, that doesn't come to a nice, fine, let me make sure I'm in the right spot. That doesn't come to a nice, fine, flat uh, angle anymore. It's just been used a lot. So, if you need a nice, fine, flat angle, then you get a newer brush. But for the background and when you're just rubbing everything, and if you're using wood, you might want to use some of your older brushes. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, let me just double check, make sure, because like I said, when I get off of the live, then I can see. Let me see if I can put a period in there. Can I do that? I don't know. Sometimes I might be able to see. Okay, let me hold this up here. Right? So we are slowly but surely getting in there. Will it let me? Nope, I cannot. I think I am in the wrong spot. Okay, I think I was able to put a period in there, at least to see if I can see anything. I've noticed before that after I get off live, other people have made comments. All right. So the brown, we need another coating of the brown. All right, let's continue. So I am just going to go on in here. Oh, good gracious. Going in here with my You're just going to go on here, do another layer. Okay. Now this time, before the paint totally dries out, I am going to add a little bit of lightness on the highlights, just a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and do those eyebrows and all of those little details. Get that totally done. This is so much fun. This is so relaxing. So if you ever hear about a paint party in your area, or if your social committee or somebody says, hey, we were thinking about a paint party, say yes, do it. Even if it's not your best painting in the world, it is still very nice. All right, so I am going to take some of this brown. I'm going to add a little bit of white. I'm going to add a little bit of red to it, add a little bit of yellow, so that that white won't be so chalky. So now I'm just going to go in here and get a little bit of highlight over here. Hopefully it's light enough. Okay. All right. And we're just going to outline it over here. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but we'll see. All right, so I'm over here mixing up a large concoction. My paintbrush is super duper full. All right. Right. How about that? Okay. A little bit right here, and then we're going to leave it alone. Okay, so I won't be able to see because it's so wet and the glare is something terrible. So I'm going to go ahead right now. All right, I think I have the right lip color. I might need to make it a little bit darker. Okay, good. Make it a little bit more purple. Let me see if I can get a little bit of blue over here. Okay. Let's see. All right. I think we're good on that right now. Let me see if I can get some of this purple. Let me see if I'm going to do too much right here. I think this is still too wet. All right. Let me see. I don't know. Let me smooth this out here. I guess I forgot that I had clumped this on over here. We don't want that. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of the brown and a little bit of the black, very little, to make it just a shade darker. And we're going up underneath here just a little bit. Okay. Okay. All right, I may have to just use my Sharpie trick after everything is done, because this brush has had it. Let me get a better brush. Honey, I work these brushes until they cry out for mercy. Let me use one of my good brushes and see if I can get to a better point up in here. Let me get a little bit of water. Let me wipe off some of the water, and then let me get into this black. All right. We don't want it to be too goopy, but we need to get on up in here. Ooh, my hands are shaking. Okay, so here we are. Sketching with the black. Let me get some more. And I'm just going to go around. Ooh, my hands are just shaking. Ooh, but we're going forward, y'all. I'm just going to outline this, make it more of like the cartoon style. All right. Honey. Note to self, do not drinketh the coffee if you plan on going live, because it will show. All right. Anyway, we're just having fun amongst friends. So let me go ahead and clear this out. And then I will come back and I will use that again in a few. Oh, I know I needed that black right up underneath that nose. All right. That's what I needed it for, right there. Oh. Ooh, these hands are really shaking. That's okay. We're going to keep on with life. All right. Okay. All right. You know what? And I keep forgetting about these eyebrows, y'all. Let me get some, while I've got the black right here. Let me go ahead and draw these little eyebrows on. Let me come right along this little edge right here. Ooh, stop shaking, girl. All right. So I'm just going to do like I did last week. Like I say, working on canvas and working on paper is a little bit different. Sometimes that paper is a little more smooth. All right, let's go get some more paint. All right, here we are right here. And we're just keeping things simple. And I probably need a little bit more brown back up in there. All right. Definitely will be. While I have it, let me go ahead and do some of this line work right here. Okay. We will come back to it. I may have to change this water, but right now I'm okay. All right, so let's go ahead and put a little something right there. Oh, that's too light up underneath there, and I know better, but we did it, okay? We did it. Let me go back with a little bit more brown. All right, we did that. All right, we'll go with a little bit more brown right here too. All right. I keep forgetting some of this is still wet. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this hat action together. So we're just going to go right on up in here with this red. Do I want the big brush? This is a little bit more zhuzhed purple down here. Going right on up in here with the big brush. Now I know that was too much, but we're going to work with it. So this definitely needs a second coat. So we're going to get this first one on here just to get in all of these nooks and crannies. And we're going to leave it alone, let that dry. Smooth that out. Just making sure we've covered up everything. All right. Going back up here. Let me get some more red. Coming back down here. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue. Honey, we have hit that 1 hour mark, but we've only been painting about 45 minutes. Maybe closer to 40. Okay. Make sure there's no white. And like I said, I am sitting down, so I know some of this overlap either is not going to be there or it's going to be just a little bit too much. All right. All right, I think we're okay for that first coat right there. It's shaping up pretty good. Let me pick this up, come close. There are a few more subtleties going on, but I can't wait to get to this purple here. So once this purple here has been attended to, I think we're doing really well. Doing really well. We're going to let that area dry. Okay. We'll get a little bit of this down here. All right, I think we're okay with that. Let me clear that out. Let me see. Well, I guess, let me dry some of this out. I guess I needed to bring some of this over here. I don't know what I was thinking. And I need to leave that alone and let that dry. Well, this is some of that purple that we could definitely use in the hair. All right, let's go for it. Let me put this big brush down. And I just covered over my black line again, y'all. Let me get just a little bit of water to thin this out. So much fun. So let's come on here. It's coming along. Slowly but surely. Let me take a peek and see what this is looking at. Like, let me take a quick peek. Let's see, which screen are we on? Okay. Let's take a quick peek and see if that's coming along okay. I think it's coming along okay. The background is dry. All right. It's coming along. Well, of course, I would continue and continue and continue. But we're going to go ahead and try to wrap this up quickly so it's not so painful. But it's so much fun for me. Is this the right cam? Did it reduce in size? Y'all, what's going on? Let me make sure we've got the right cam. Okay, I think we're good now. All right. So we could go on and on. I'm going to clean out my brush, add a few little details. I'm going to let some of this dry off a little bit. Let me get a little bit of water for this part right in here. Probably should make this a little bit more of a gray, so it's not so stark white, because we want the bright white to be all up around here. Okay. Let me get a little bit more white over here. Yeah. Yeah. This is fun. This is cute. Very demure. Let me get a little bit of water, and we're going to gray down the eyes just a little bit. Underneath here, just a little bit. That's not enough. Just a smidge. Okay. That will help the highlight pop a little bit better. I think I did a little bit too much gray. All right. Where's my Sharpie? Is it in here, y'all? No, I know I have dropped it. I know I heard something fall. There it is. Because it's like, I know it's here. Now, this is a little bit of a... I'm trying to make sure I'm not putting my hands in any wet paint. Okay. Now, I know some of this is still wet around here. Okay. And I'll probably get the brush and come back come back through here a little bit. Let's see if we could see that. A little bit. So I wanted this to dry off just a smidge. The lips definitely could use a second coat. So, Mrs. Claus, it's cute. Let me make sure I clean this out really good. See if there's some more blue and violet. I know that some of the, and I know it's like those dangling sentences. I'm trying not to lose my thought, but I'm also trying to make sure I'm focused. But I know the little texture gets up in here, and that's like I just feel like I have to get rid of some of that for it to feel more complete. So hopefully the words are coming out a little bit better, because it's like it's just stuck, because it's like I know what I'm trying to do. So that's 120, y'all. I can't believe it took this long, but it was definitely a joy. So I am going to get my other brush. Yeah, let me put this up in here. I think these are all done. Get my other brush. Go ahead in here with the black. Let's pull out definitely some of these lines here, and then we're gonna call it a day after we do some of the snow. So I'm going back up in here along this jawline very carefully. Okay. Super cute. All right. Come back right over here. Get some more water. Come right back along over here. Might be a little bit thick. That's okay. I'd much rather there be a line there than not. Even though we were trying to do this with the Sharpie, I got to remember that I have to reload. Get a little bit more water. Okay. Load up. Come back. Load up. And it's okay if these lines aren't as elegant and demure as we'd like. The main statement has been made. Okay. I'm going to go right on up around over here. And I know the lines probably should be a little bit more refined, but hey, I'm excited that we got this far. And let's load up. Let's add a little bit more right around here. Sometimes finishing it with that black line, it just kind of pops it out a little bit more. And it's just fun to try to do as much as you can with the brush. Like I said, I know my lines are a little bit thicker than what they should be, but I'm okay with that because it's fun. Okay, so we're gonna come on back around here. Then we're gonna go in here with a little snow, and then we're gonna call it a day. Now I know it should be more elegant around here. Okay. Go right back up over here. I want to hit this with this hair dryer before I do anything with the white. Okay, do we have any black up in here? Maybe a little bit. Now I forget, you're looking right at me as I'm painting. Oh, looking right at me as I'm going back and forth. But I'd like for you to view this. So sorry about that. I forgot I lifted that up. This is too much water. Okay. Okay, we're going around these little edges right here. And we're going to be finished with that part. Okay. Hopefully that brush work is helping to pop everything out. I'm going to go right back around here one more time because I can see some of that white popping through. I'm going to curve this up here. All right. Right up in here while I got a little paint on here and try to eliminate some of those out. Coming right on down here. Whoop. I went out of the line big time on that one, but that's somebody's gonna have to forgive me on that. Okay, so this is Claus. We're gonna make sure you got one of these little tight curls right here. Okay. All right. Let me make sure this is curving out this way. All right, a little more elegant. All right. How fun, how exciting is that? Make sure that paint is out away from that metal because it gets in there And when it starts building up in there, that's when you don't get that fine point. Now this is a nice fine point. But if it were watercolor, it would be easier to get a finer point. But acrylic paint is a little more clunky. Is that the right word for it? All right, so I think we're just about ready. And I won't do what I did last time. I'll just come on over here, get a little bit of the white, and I'm just gonna pound some of that white right there, and I'm gonna get some more of my, now I could use the professional one, but we're just gonna go ahead and use the, who's this? I think I got this from Walmart a few years back. But any clear medium will give you more of that glaze effect. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit down there because all this is just clear paint, like clear nail polish. And so I'm going to add a little water. I'm just going to pounce off to the side here. I'm going to pick up some of this because you don't want just straight water. All right, and we're going to go on up in here and boom. Now I'm going to get some more of the clear because that is very white. So I'm going to go on in here and I'm going to squeeze out some of this paint. All right, so I've got a lot of clear. All right, let's see. And I'm just going to spin it around a little bit. I think I have a little. Now this is fun to me. All right, so we may have, I'm just trying to make sure that it is in the little grooves here. Just go back. Spin it around. I'm just going back to touch it up a little bit. All right. I think we're okay with that. All right. Let's see. That's okay. That is okay. I'm going to get some more of this and just kind of go right on up over here. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to go in here, get some white paint, add a little bit of water over here. Mixing in some of the clear, because that's the glue that holds it together if you water it down too much. All right, so here we're going to have some teeny tiny let me reload. Refold. Nope, I'm happy with it. That looks like fun. Now, I would let this completely dry and then put the oh, now see, I let it sit too long. I don't know if you can see where all the glitter is now down at the bottom. Can I shake it back up in time? We may have to put that coat on there maybe next time. Okay, so let me see if I can compare the two together. Yes, we're just going back and forth with the foolishness. Let's see. All right. We're done. I'm gonna make sure I'm not in the paint. And I've got another light source right here. I just don't know why it's not shining over here nice and bright. Okay. It is, yeah. Yeah, we've probably been painting about 90 minutes. Let's see if we can get this up a little bit. Okay, that helped pop it a little bit. All right, well, this is Bernaid Flournoy, art teacher by day, portrait painter by night, paint party instructor on the weekend, and this is currently available for you to go and grab when you join my email list. There's several other downloads in there that I promise you will want. You'll hear me talking very demurely. But yes, go ahead and grab them. Look for some more paint-alongs happening during 2025, as well as some online ticketed events. Who knows, I may eventually go ahead and do the Zoom thing. But I'll have to see what StreamYard has. I think I can add maybe 6, maybe 7 other people on here. So let's look for. All right, I'm trying to get that best light. All right, very nice. All right, I don't have my other one here to show, but yes, this is Mrs. Claus, everyone. Okay, Mrs. Claus is here. I could have added a few more snowflakes, but this was just so much fun to paint. So I want to make sure I put some more really cute, fun things in there. So yeah, watch for that. Thanks so much for joining. I am going to give you back the rest of your day. So let me make sure I'm on the right screen here. And here we go.